So starting off the brows as usual, I'm going to take the NYX brow gel in the shade Espresso and just comb that through the hairs. Then as usual again, the mix of the Inglot Duraline and the Olivia Belle Beauty medium brow pomade. That's just going to be your line for your brow. Then just buffing out any excess product with the side of the brush. And then taking the same brow pomade and just starting to mimic those hair strokes on for a more realistic brow, so it's not as chunky and not as blocky. So this time I'm taking a mix of Inglot's 83 HD foundation and Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 110, and that's the foundation we're going to use for the whole face. But what I'm doing is I'm using that as a base for my shadow, so the sides connect to the foundation later on. So I'm putting that on with a GLAM&CO 252 brush, exact same as a MAC 252, amazing brush. So same again, underlining the brow and then pulling any excess product down towards the lid. You don't want too much product up around the brow area. And then using an old fluffy brush as usual to buff out the edges, because if we leave harsh edges they will not blend later on. So then as usual I'm going to take Inglot 453 shadow on a bullet brush on the inner corner and brow bone as a highlight. Then I'm going to take the same blending brush just to buff it into the skin a little bit more so it's not as intense white and it's more blended. Then just combing through with the NYX brow gel again just to make sure there's no excess product in the brow. Same thing as before, I'm just going to pat out any creases before I go in with my first transition shade. So first shade is Inglot 50, I'm sure. 50 or 51, same as the last time, it's that burnt orange shade, and I'm just taking that in the blank canvas E26 again, and I'm patting that on in the kind of like, I call it like an upside down horseshoe, like an upside down U shape on the eyelid. Basically you don't want to go further than the end of your lashes, so you're not going to take the colour way blended out, it's just going to stop. And then I'm just going to buff that out with a blank canvas E25 brush with Inglot 60 shadow, it's a yellow. And then again just re-intensifying that orange again and then buffing the orange again out with the yellow. And then once your pink is on, you blend the pink out with the orange and the orange with the yellow. No matter what colours you use, you always blend out colour on now with your previous shadow. The pink and the purple are from the Lick and Lash Beauty palettes. This one is the VIVA GLAM palette, and I'm just taking that purple on a GLAM&CO brush. It's a dense brush, so it's going to really pack on the colour, and that's what we want. We're trying to get as much colour payoff as we can on the lid, so when we cut that crease it's really noticeable against all your transitional shades, and that's exactly what you want. And then I'm just taking that pink shadow then from the Lick and Lash palette on a GLAM&CO brush just to buff out the edges of that purple. All the pink bar brushes that I do use are GLAM&CO brushes, and you can get a 15-piece brush set for about 50 or 60 euro, and you can find them on Instagram at GLAM&CO Cosmetics. I'm always tagging them because I use them all the time. So as usual, getting your client to look straight ahead first to carve the crease so you can see how high you can take it, and then the same GLAM&CO 252 brush that we use for the brows, and taking Helené Stage Primer just to cut a crease. So especially when you put the glitter on top, it will just stick straight away because it is a primer as it is. Just cutting out the whole lid with that, and then putting on an Inglot shadow. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's a blue one. I will link it when I'm putting up the products, but right now I don't know off the bat. So I'm just patting that all over the lid, and then I'm going to start bringing the edges in because I'm doing a spotlight. Then I'm just going over that eyeshadow primer again just to make sure it is extra tacky so the glitter does stick. This is a GLAM&CO glitter and they are amazing. So then basically I'm just taking all the colours that we use for your transitions on the side of the spotlight. So same as before, just taking the same colours again on the sides of the spotlight just so the glitter blends a little bit more easier, so it doesn't look as pressed on top as opposed to sitting in with the shadows. It looks like it's a part of the shadows, and then just wiping away any excess. And then I just took the same foundations that I used on top underneath, so they blend a lot easier and the edges are not as harsh. So this next shadow is from Silva Beauty. I'm sure it's a Canadian brand, but the Irish stockist is Trend Beauty, and that's where you can order all the shades that they have. This one is called Sugar Diet, and I'm just packing that on then underneath the lash line. And then I'm going closer to the lash line with an Inglot shadow. Lately I literally have forgotten all the Inglot shadows. I used to know them all when I worked there, but especially when I'm on the spot I forget. But I link all the products that I use down below, and then just dusting off any excess then with a fan brush. When I do colourful eye looks, I do rather use the white in the waterline. I think it's a lot more flattering. This is just the NYX jumbo pencil in milk, and then I'm just popping on a pair of Penny's lashes, the iconic ones. So with skin, you know the drill here, same as before. Glam&Co brush as well, pink barrel, lovely stuff. Barry M drops, the liquid chrome drops all over the skin. The lighting will readjust here now, it's a bit all over the place. And then that's the same mix that we took before, the Inglot 83 HD and the Maybelline 110 foundation. And I'm just patting that on with a Glam&Co 127 brush. These brushes cannot be sold on their own, they do come in a set, so I would recommend getting the set because they have brushes for the eyebrows, the face, contour, highlight, everything. So I do recommend them. And then I'm just using that same fluffy old eyeshadow brush just to buff around the smaller areas like the nose, the ear and the hairline. Then same products as before, the Maybelline shade 10 Fit Me Concealer on the areas of the face that you want to brighten, so underneath the eyes, the bridge of the nose, the top of the lip, the chin and the forehead. Then I just pack on the areas that I concealed some Inglot 403 HD powder. It's a brightening powder, you know me, you know I love it, it's amazing. So I'm just going to pack that on, it's going to give the skin a bit of a glow before there's even any highlight. And then just packing on the 405 HD powder for the rest of the face from Inglot. Then I'm just reintroducing any colours that we may have lost through blending. So I'm just packing on the Sugar Diet again, and then taking some Inglot 63 and 45 pressed powders as my bronzer slash contour, just starting at the top of the ear and up the sides of the forehead. I like to go in with a clean eyeshadow brush just to blend the line between the eyeshadow area and the contour lines, just so it's not like black and white, you know. And then I'm going in with some 303 Inglot eyeshadow as a blush now. Once all your main powders are done, you want to just go through the brows again with the NYX brow gel, just so the brows are not like dusty. And then setting the face with any setting spray. And then my favourite part is highlight. The Doll Beauty highlighter in Shine Bright all over the face. And yes, I do the ears too. So for lips, it's the usual Inglot's A54 lip liner, Inglot 404 matte lipstick, and then the Peaches and Cream Bambi gloss. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial.